In this lesson, we are looking at how to factor quadratic expressions. This is actually a review from Algebra 1, Algebra 2. And the steps we are going to be following. The first one is when you are told to factor, the first thing is to factor the greatest common factor if it's anything greater than 1. So how do you do this? You find the largest number that divides evenly into all coefficients, and then find the variable that appear in every term and factor them out to the lowest exponent. And then determine if the next one is the difference of two squares. If you see a difference of two squares like this one, remember it can be factored by this. So here, factor completely. If not factorable, write prime. Okay, we go to our example number 1. So I look at what I'm given here. I check what is common. So 4 is 4 is not common, but I see 2 is common. What else is common? So x is common. So I'm left with x. I'm left with 2x minus 9. See, that is factored completely. And you can always check your answer by distributing it again. So you get 4x squared minus 18. So we go to the next one. What's common? So I have a variable which is common. The numbers are not common. So I look at the lowest exponent, which is 3. And this is 3x. This has to be power 2 because when I add them, I should get 5 using the rules of exponents minus 7. And again, check your answers by distributing it again. The next one, what's common? So d is common. So we have d squared minus 81. And when I check this, I see this is a difference of two squares. Whatever is inside the parentheses. So this means I can leave the d out. So this becomes d minus 9 and d plus 9. And that's my final answer. So we go to the next one. So here I factor what's common. 5 is common. So this is 1 minus 4y squared. And what's in parentheses, I realize it's a difference of two squares because this is the same as 5. And inside parentheses we have 1 squared over minus 2 squared y squared. See, that's a difference of two squares. Or maybe I could even write it as 2y squared. See, that's difference of two squares in there. So I'm going to write 1 minus 2y and 1 plus 2y. And that's the final answer. Okay, go to the next one. So what's common? So I see it's perfect squares, but I see it's not a difference of two squares. So this one actually cannot be factored. So I'm going to say this is prime. Then I go to the next one. So this one I factor the... So this one, the only thing I see is a difference. Maybe I can write this one. This is the same as 4b squared. 4b squared squared. Because when I open it, I'll get the same answer. And then this is a squared in parentheses squared. So now having that, this is the same. I see difference of two squares. So this is 4b squared minus a squared. And the other factor is going to be 4b squared plus a squared. Okay, So now, see, this can be factored more. So my answer is going to be, when I factor it again, see, this is the same as difference. This is a difference of two squares. This is 2b minus a, 2b plus a, and then the other one is 4b squared plus a squared. See, that one had more steps. Okay, now, and here we are going to factor polynomials which are of the form is x squared and plus bx plus c. And this one, we are told that the coefficient of a, actually here it doesn't matter whether a is 0, so a is 1 or not 1. So we are going to, the first thing is to create a 3 by 3 box like the one we see here. On the top left corner, we put the first term, and we are going to use this example here. So here I'm going to put 10x squared, and then on the bottom right corner you put c, which is minus 6. Actually here, and let me go back here. I need to put this one 10x squared, and this one I have minus 6. And then the next step is find the factors of a and c. So I multiply these two numbers, so which is negative 60, and I need to find in such a way that addition or subtraction gives you the middle term. And what is the middle term? The middle term is positive 11. So what two numbers can I multiply to get positive 11? And when I multiply them, I get negative 60. And when I think about those two numbers, I'm thinking about 15 and 4. And the 4 has to be negative, because when I add them, I should get positive 11. So those are my two numbers. So I'm just going to put them in this box here. It doesn't matter where you put them. I was splitting the middle term, so this is 15x minus 4x. And now the next thing to do is to just factor out using these empty boxes. So what's common here? X is common. What else is common? 4 is not common, but 2 is common. So 2 is common. And over here you have 5x, which is common. See, when I multiply these ones, I get this number here in the middle. And 5 times 3 gives me 15. So 2 times negative 2 gives me negative 4x. And then 3 times negative 2 gives me negative 6. See, the good thing about this method, you can always verify by multiplying. 2 times negative 3 gives me negative 6. This is correct, and this is correct, and this is correct. So now my factors are 2x plus 3, 5x minus 2. So that's my answer right there. Let's do another one here. So here we are given 4x squared. Put it in the right spot, long spot, 4x squared. And this is minus 15. Then I need to figure out what two numbers I can multiply to get negative 15. And when I add them, I get 4. I get, remember, I have to do a times c, which is 4 times negative 15. So this is negative 60. So, and I want to get 4, so I'm thinking about 10 and 6. And which one has to be negative? This has to be negative 6, so that when I add them I get 4. So I'm going to put 10x and this is going to be negative 6x. So now the next thing is to factor what's common. So I have 2x is common, and then what's common over here. So 2x is common, and see when I multiply that, see I get 4x squared. So then this has to be 5, and what must be here so that I can get negative 15? So it has to be negative 3, or negative 3 here is common. So now when I check this, the answer becomes 2x plus 5 and 2x minus 3, and those are the factors. Okay, here is another one. So I do 9x squared, and this is 4. So 9 times 4 is 36. So I need two numbers, because when I multiply that, I need two numbers I can multiply to get 36. So 9 times, okay, and 9 times 3 is not going to help me. What about 6 times 6, which is going to give me, so this becomes 6x and 6x. So now I factor out, so 3x, so this is 9x squared, this is 2, and this is what's common here. I need a 2 here, so that 3 times 2, okay, so my factors are 3x plus 2 and 3x plus 2, so I can say 3x plus 2 squared, because there are two of them, they are the same. We go to the next one. Here we are going to factor by splitting the middle term, and the idea is to split the middle term. This is called factoring by grouping. So I'm going to consider these two. These are 4, so there are two groups. So what's common in the first group? So x is common, so then I get x plus 4. I bring this sign down, plus, and what's common on these two? For these two, nothing is common, but 1 is always common, so x plus 4. And from what you can see here, I want you to see that whatever is inside the parentheses is the same, so just write x plus 4, and whatever is outside parentheses is x plus 1, and that is the answer. We go to the next one. Again, we group them, so we factor the what's common here, 3, anything else apart from 3. So 3 is common and v is common, so this is going to be 4v minus 7. I bring the sign down, minus what's common, just 1, so then this is 4v. Because I want this to be positive, this has to be 4v plus 7. And when I look at this one, I see these numbers inside the parentheses. See, these ones are not the same, and when they are not the same, it means I cannot be able to factor this one, and I can always go back and check, did I make a mistake? So 3v, so 12v squared minus 21, and this is minus 4v, and this is when I multiply. See, when I multiply, I get the same thing, but these are not the same, so this cannot be factored. So I'll say this is prime. I cannot factor because those two are not the same. But you always have to check whether did you make a mistake. You have to always check that. Okay, now let's go to this one. So what's common? We have 7u, and then this is u minus 1 plus, what's common here? 3 is common. So u minus 1, but that's plus down, so we get 7u minus 3 and u minus 1. So here we have our answer. Let's go to the next one. So here we are factoring by splitting the middle term, and it's the same method as using the box method, same idea. So remember when we did the box method, I just multiplied 2 times 9, so I get negative 18. Then I need to get two numbers. When I multiply them, I should get negative 18, and when I add them, I should get negative, sorry, not, made a mistake here. So this is minus 36. So what two numbers can I multiply to get negative 36? When I add them, I get 12. And I'm thinking about 12 and 3, because that's 36. And negative 12 has to be negative. So now I'm going to do 2x squared minus 12x plus 3x minus 18. I'm splitting the middle term. Instead of 9x, all I'm doing here is 9x is the same as, negative 9x is equals to 12, negative 12x plus 3x, same thing. So here then I'm going to group them. So this 2 is common, actually 2x, and this is x minus 2, and then minus 6, not 2, x minus 6, and this is plus, what's common here, 3, and this is x minus 6. So my factors are 2x plus 3, x minus 6. And here, the next one, I multiply, so I get negative 24. So what two numbers? I need 6 and 4. So it must be negative 6. So now this becomes 8x squared plus 6x minus 4x minus 3. It doesn't matter which one you start with for the middle term. So I factor out, x is common and 2 is common, so 2x, this is 4x plus 3 minus, what's common here, 1 is common, so 4x, this has to be positive in order to give me negative 3. So 2x minus 1, 4x plus 3. Okay, and I'm not going to do the last one here. So that's how to factor, and we are now going to be applying in the next lesson how to solve by factoring.